for Sagittarius. Sagittarius, let's go and see a mid-December message for you. Sagittarius, if you're a member, thank you so much for supporting the channel. If you're a subscriber, thank you for being part of the channel. If you're watching, well, thank you for your time. Hope you enjoy the content. Consider Sagittarius becoming a member. Help support the channel that way. There are special perks, and you help go and support things like, tarot decks and candles. Also smudging sticks, things like that. Also oils. I do use oils as well, even though you can't smell them. They do say that one of the food of the gods is definitely scents and sounds. Hello, Asha. Yes. Sagittarius. I see this reading as being pertinent for anyone who has strong Sagittarius energy. So Sagittarius Sun, Sagittarius Moon, Sagittarius Rising, Sagittarius first house. You have multiple planets in Sagittarius. Definitely applies to you. I don't know if this is going to be a love reading or not. When I do these readings, these general readings, could be love, could be work, could be a general life reading. If it is love, definitely 7th house energy and first and Venus, if you have Sagittarius there. Now, and of course, as it's a collective reading, take it as it resonates, if it resonates. But I'm sure I don't have to tell people who watch this content that. And I am available for personal readings. If you have a question, I can do a poll. All I ask is a donation. Just as I donate to the collective, I ask that you donate to me as well. Anyway, let's get into the reading. Let's get into a reading for Sagittarius. What's for Sagittarius? See, so many things to pull for Sagittarius. I have 4 of Swords, Sagittarius. 4 of Swords with the bottom of the deck energy, the Star. Sagittarius, are you putting enough time in to keep yourself at top level? Just want to throw that out there, Sagittarius. A whole new year is coming up, a whole new year of responsibility, a whole new energy wave. Hello, Bendio. Well, I am actually going to be doing an Aries reading. I was going to do the Aries reading early this morning, but then I felt like I should do Libra instead. Hello, senses. But Aries reading will probably come up after Sagittarius. I was wondering, should I do Sagittarius? Should I do Aries? Should I do Sagittarius? Should I do Aries? Leo came in for a minute there. It was actually between an earth sign and a fire sign. And then I decided, I'm going to go with Sagittarius first. Kick out Sagittarius. Kick off with Sagittarius. And why not do fire afterwards? We could do Aries. Okay, so 4 of Swords. Let's go and further dive into this. 4 of Swords gets 8 of Pentacles. Hierophant. Page of Cups. Sagittarius, first of all, too, with that bottom of the deck energy being 5 of Wands. And then initial question, are you taking time out to recharge yourself either at the end of the day or the end of the week or even just moments throughout the day, Sagittarius? Are you just pushing yourself a little too hard? Because you can, because you have the strength to do so. Sagittarius, I don't think That's the pace you should go at. Sagittarius, I think you should take a little downtime, Sagittarius. Sagittarius, I also think too, with that bottom of the deck energy being Five of Wands, just because something arrives at your doorstep doesn't mean you necessarily have to engage it, or at least engage it immediately. Other people's timing doesn't have to be your timing, Sagittarius. Just as you, I'm sure, wait on other people can definitely wait on you. Wait for you. I just wanted to throw that message out about timing and pacing. Eight of Pentacles, Hierophant, and Page of Cups. Well, what's the work you love to do, Sagittarius? What's the work that you're hoping will give you recognition? Sagittarius, you definitely need to take a break. I do feel it's been a lot of work for Sagittarius, and Sagittarius needs to sort of, I don't know, clear the noise in your head. You need to let your cells rejuvenate. You need to be one in your surroundings without necessarily working it. Sagittarius, let's look at this Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles gets a Knight of, oh, this Earth, Sagittarius. Gears of your head must be constantly turning, Sagittarius, with all this Earth. You know, that's another question to think about too. Under Four of Swords, Sagittarius, are you following through the motions because it's expected, because they're paths that other people have taken? Is the work that most people do, Sagittarius, would that work get you ahead in the manner you desire, at the speed you desire? Working traditionally. And I do say traditionally because besides the fact we have earth signs, Knight of Pentacles and Hierophant are very traditional energies. I mean, gee, doesn't get more traditional than these energies, right? Not only do they want stability, but we're not talking about stability. You don't have to go about things in a standard way to achieve stability, right? You can be unconventional and achieve that stability and achieve results. Doesn't necessarily have to be the standard expected way of operation. In fact, Sagittarius, if you ask me, from the energy I have here and from the energy I've done in general for your collective, really, I think by going about things in the traditional route, Sagittarius would only kind of stress you and kind of drain you. It's not about being built to do something in a certain way. It's really what you're best at, what you're meant to do. I mean, look at otters, for instance, Sagittarius. Look at the way they move so fluidly. Even on the ground, they move fluidly, but do they fly? No, otters don't fly, right? Although one could see that they're very fluid and they do glide through their surfaces, you know, otters do not fly. Otters are really nimble and so quick, so active. They have active imaginations, they have active personalities, they have an active energy drive. They have those sharp teeth, sharp nails, little cute otter eyes. Anyway, otters are like built for a Pacific thing, right? And what they do when they do their otter things, they just are, you know, fantastic. And that's what you need to do, Sagittarius. You need to lean into your Sagittariusness. And I don't think necessarily working traditional is the way to go about it. or being traditional, having a traditional work thing. There's something about here about the pace that maybe it's listening to authority, Sagittarius. I don't know. It's all that goes down to your specific situations, right? Oh, tomorrow's a Friday the 13th. Interesting. I was just thinking today that right now it's, the 12th day of the 12th month, which that's pretty significant in itself as well. But to think it's followed up by Friday the 13th. Wow. 2 high significant days. I know a full moon is coming up this Saturday. No, this Sunday, I think. I don't really put down the moon phases anymore in my videos because, as I said, I'm a little lazy with typing all the tags and whatnot. But I know we do have a full moon on Friday as well. No, excuse me. I think Sunday, the 15th. I will think about that, though, Bendejo. The fact that we have today is 1212, definitely an angel number. And then we have followed by Friday the 13th. That's really fluid, one after another. Good morning, gorgeous. Nice to meet you, gorgeous. Feels like a pickup line. Let's get back to 8 of Pentacles. Gorgeous, if you want me to do a question for you, I would need a donation. Just as I do these collective readings for the community, if you want me to do a reading for you, I would need a donation set my way. It's interesting. There is a segment that I've been exploring of lotto numbers. So maybe today's a good day to also come up with some numbers. I have a whole thing on numbers, but I'm not going to get into it here. Because numbers, briefly, numbers operate on a whole different vibrational scale when you think about it. Like they're different than visuals, they're different than sound. It's almost like the root of all visuals, the root of all sound, things like that. But it definitely is a more, do I call it pure? Or it's almost like, I don't know if you've ever watched Full Metal Alchemist. I'm going to geek out here for a moment. But when they keep on talking about going beyond the door and I don't know, there's other things where they talk about source, right? Like where does everything come from? The initial point of knowledge, the initial point of being, the initial point of consciousness. And I do think the vibration of numbers is really in that pure, unadulterated spot or thought or concept, something, a Plato ideal of source. In fact, even Islamic, I'm going to go off of one more tangent, even Islamic not architecture. Well, I guess they're art too, but Islamic art, traditionally, if you were going to be like hard-nosed, follow the book, religious person, you would not go and do anything that would depict life. Like that's a big no-no, which is why Islamic art has always been geometric, but their geometry grids are all based off of numerology. And that's the interesting point about Islamic art. Well, yeah, when you think about it too, Islam, Judaism, or Judaism, Christianity, all of them are Abrahamic religions, right? They're all essentially the same thing. They're just different flavors of how it's incorporated, like pudding. No offense to anyone, I'm not meaning offensive or anything like that, but I'm just saying you have like caramel pudding, vanilla pudding, and chocolate pudding. I mean, they're Abrahamic religions. It's not like comparing it to Buddhism, for instance. I mean, that's an entirely different beast. No offense as well. I'm just speaking colloquially, right? It's just an entirely different thing. Buddhism as opposed to an Abrahamic religion. Let's. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, it's just a type, that's all. But sometimes maybe I tend to oversimplify a little bit. But I don't mean any disrespect to anyone when I say that. It's just how I speak. Let's go on to this Pentacles. And here's another question, Sagittarius, that you should be thinking about, another Pentacles, as you are laboring, which I do think you need a break from your labors. Do you think that, some people do, Sagittarius, they think, oh, well, once I establish myself or I prove myself or I earn the trust of the people around me, then I could start being myself, right? People put that limit or that if and or clause in their mode of operations with, their public face. And that's sort of the energy that I have here, Sagittarius, with this Eight of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, the Moon, and the Fool. Once you establish some trust, some history, some mileage, then you could start going off into being your own person. And Sagittarius, I really do think that energy is a little too long and a little unnecessary. Sagittarius, you should jump straight to, leaning into what you feel, what you want to do, and the full energy when you work. And apply your diligence literally to your innovation and your range of ideas. That's what I say. The Hierophant. Let's go and take a dive into Hierophant. So much Pentacles, Sagittarius. So many. Whether you go, Sagittarius, by the standard mode of operating within a matrix, a company, a school, what have you, whether you go through the standard mode of operation or not, it's still going to take time. And think about it this way too, Sagittarius, with that Hierophant energy. And I know you've heard this before. You surely have. It's not so much about where you go, your travels, right, of life. And it's not so much about what you accomplish, but it's how you go about it, right? Because you can go and spend 5 years laboring for something, and then it's over literally in a half an hour. Right? A lot of time goes into achieving our hallmarks, our benchmarks, our goals. But then when we achieve it, it's pretty much done. Right? And then we go on to the next thing. So it's even more of a reason, Sagittarius, not to get bogged down with going through life in a manner that isn't true to yourself. No one really has to conform. In society, of course, it's easier. People conform if people see a box and they willingly crawl into that box of identity, that box of operations, that box of desires, that box of hope, that box of behavior. Right? It's easiest if, as society, we conform to pressure or standards, so-called societal standards, and we crawl into those boxes or we collect those boxes ourselves. But is it necessary? People say, oh, it's easier if you do what X, Y, and Z does. Live your life, but still follow through the standard flow of society. I say what I see and what I feel is a little different, Sagittarius. And just because everyone else is jumping off a bridge doesn't mean you have to jump off a bridge. And of course, that could be a little dire, right? Nobody's actually dying when you jump off a bridge. The bridge is literally like just going over a pothole, right? One step down, that could be the bridge. But even then, if you don't feel it, Sagittarius, why should you do it? Why should you even waste your time with motions to let other people know that you're on board? I don't know, to conform or not conform. Some people conform very well. Some people uphold the rules very well. Just as there are the people that uphold and conform very well, you also need the people who break out. Otherwise, where is the growth, Sagittarius, both for you, both for your community, for the world, right? We can't have confirmation or, conformity. We can't have conformity all the time. Mine? My sun is Cancer and my moon is Aries. I'm a very impatient person. I like doing lots of things. And internally, I'm practically all air. But of course, being socked with a water sun is enough. I have a water sun and a water Venus. But I'm mostly all air inside. Outside of my fire moon, I do have a Sagittarius Neptune. But outside of that, practically all air. Yes, I float around very easily. Page of Cups. And my Aries moon is in the 12th house. So yeah, I don't need a lot of I don't need to understand something necessarily to jump into it. I just go by feeling. Let's go into Page of Cups. Page of Cups gets Ace of Wands, Queen of Swords, and King of Pentacles. Page of Cups. Sagittarius, this really speaks to getting success your own way, getting attention your own way. This Page of Cups is interesting. It's an opportunity. This first part of the reading felt like a general life reading in the fact of telling you to take a step back and think about, too, how you're approaching how you are approaching, I don't know, life and also recognition in general. Life, work, recognition in general. And I do think pulling back Sagittarius from, let's say, standard rules is going to benefit you. With also, too, Sagittarius, more authentic people, people who will support how you want to go about things or how you can see things going about it. All you need really for an idea to be developed is just that, an idea. The spoken word shared for other people to consider and other people to want to incorporate it. Sagittarius, spend some time thinking, reflecting. And when you act, Sagittarius, as you act, as you move, make sure you're doing that because you truly want to do that. There, of course, are like the standard societal rules, right? Like politeness and all that. But I feel this is more nuanced into the expectations that other people have followed through on. And Sagittarius, again, the path that other people have walked on to get their success is not really one that's going to benefit you. You really need to be the trailblazer. Sagittarius, that is my message for you. Oh, yes. Well, I have 4. So that's the sound of the 2 Siamese going and, I guess, calling each other. They have these very guttural kind of, not what you would expect from cats meows. You know, they don't have those clear crystal bell meows, the little like meow. They don't have that. No, they go yeah, like a lot of. Think of like when you roll the Spanish R, like the like that. They kind of do that sound, but guttural. Anyway, 11:01. Anyway, Bendayo. Yes, they do. I would say they definitely do the wars. They do a lot of, I don't know, to me it's complaints and calls and I get a lot of complaints from them. Everything they want to do and they can't. And that right now was a call. But not today. One cat is saying, come and follow me, and the other cat is saying, come over here. They're entertaining themselves. Anyway, you welcome, Asha. So I'm going to go off and we'll do a reading for Aries. As I said, I like to do these readings a little earlier than their date because I have 12 and I have also other readings that I do, other things. If I waited to the 15th, I don't really know what kind of timing I'll have on the 15th, so might as well get it done now. Yes, I'm going to hop on to Aries. Anybody with strong Aries energy is welcome to join. Anyway, until next time, I hope everyone has the most beautiful day. Bye-bye. Oh, I actually have to say, when you say the cat sign was a Taurus, I have 3 Tauruses and 1 Scorpio. So that actually was quite on the mark. Funny.